So today we're going to be learning about how to multiply fractions that have whole numbers, okay? And we know that those are called mixed numbers. So we're learning about multiplying mixed numbers. We've talked about multiplying fractions by whole numbers. We've talked about multiplying two regular fractions. Multiplying mixed numbers is a little bit different, okay? First of all, let's review what a mixed number is. Okay, a mixed number it has a whole number plus a fraction. Okay, so for instance, an example of that would be 2 as my whole number plus 1/2, and that would create the mixed number 2 and 1/2. So that's a mixed number. We're going to be multiplying two of these kind of numbers together. Okay, I want you to stop for a minute and I want you to brainstorm. Give at least two ideas here of how you think we can multiply. What could we use to multiply two mixed numbers? Okay, you can pause the video and think about that. Give yourself a few minutes and list at least two ideas. If you come up with more, that's fine. Okay, we're going to look at multiplying mixed numbers. It's the sheet that I asked you to take out of your notebook from day 115. And it's a word problem. It says Mary is making a poster to take with her to her favorite band's concert. The poster she has to decorate is 1 1/3 feet by 2 1/4 feet. What is the area of the poster Mary has to decorate? So what we need to think about is it's asking us to find the area. Well, we know area equals length of something times the width of something. And in this case, Mary's poster is 1 1/3 feet by 2 1/4 feet. And in order to multiply those two dimensions, the length and the width, I'm multiplying two mixed numbers. Okay, I can use a model to set that up. Okay. I'm going to draw a box here, and I'm going to separate it into 4 sections. Notice my sections over in this area are smaller for a reason. I'm going to put my first fraction on top, 1 1/3, and I'm going to put my second fraction on the side, 2 1/4. I'm going to put my fingers, see where they cross and meet, and make that an equation inside of that box. So my fingers meet for 2 and 1 here, so I'm going to multiply 2 times 1 here, which equals 2. I'm going to come over here. I don't have anything in this space, but I know that whatever's on this side is the same on this side, so I can put a 2 here to help me remember that. So this is 2 times 1/3. I've got to think, I'm multiplying a whole number times a fraction. Well, here, 2 times 1/3, that must mean that it is 2/3. Because I have two groups of 1/3 there. Okay. Down here I have 1 1/4. So I'm going to multiply 1 times 1/4. 1 times 1/4 is 1/4 because anything times 1 is that same number. Over here again, I don't have anything on this side. I have the 1/3 up here, so I know that this side is the same, so I'm just going to put a 1/4 over here to help me remember. So 1/3 and 1/4 meet over here, so I'm going to multiply 1/3 times 1/4, and I know 1 times 1 is 1, and 3 times 4 is 12. Okay? At this point, I have a lot of different partial products. Okay? I have many different partial products. So I'm going to add all of my partial products together. Okay? That means I have 2 wholes plus 2/3 plus 1/4 plus 1/12. Now I notice that my sign here is addition. My sign here is addition. When I'm adding fractions, I have to find a common denominator. Okay? When I'm adding fractions, I have to find a common denominator. This isn't enough space right here or even up here for me to do all the work that I need to do for this part. So I'm going to turn it over on the back. I have 2 wholes plus 2/3 plus, let's see, I need to flip back and see, 1/4 plus 1/12. Adding all those together. Right now, they don't have a common denominator, so I need to set them equal to a common denominator. Notice I'm not doing anything with this whole number 2 because I don't need it to have a denominator. It's just a whole number that I can tag along at the end, or just keep adding as I go. It doesn't have a denominator that I need to try to fix into another denominator with these guys. Okay? All right, so I'm going to put my lines here, and I've got to figure out what number could 3, 4, and 12 share. If I don't know, I can list out my multiples. 3, 4, 12. If I count by threes, 3, 6, 9, 12. Count by fours, 4, 8, 12. And if I count by 12s, my first number is 12. So they all share the denominator 12. So I can put my new denominator 12 over here. Here I multiplied 12 times 1 to get the 12, so I'm going to multiply the top by the same thing. Make that a 1. 4 times 3 to get to 12, so I'm going to multiply 1 times 3 up here. So I have 3/12 up here. Here I multiplied 3 times 4, so I'm going to multiply 2 times 4 up here. And I get 8/12. And then I've got my 2 wholes over here. So 8 plus 3 is 11, and 11 plus 1 is 12. So my fraction is 12/12, and I have my 2 wholes to add. If I have 2 wholes and 12/12, 12/12 I know is actually 1 whole. So this equals 2 plus this 1 whole right here, 2 plus the 1 whole that 12/12 is equal to, and that equals 3 wholes. So my original question was, what is the area of the poster Mary has to decorate? The area is 3 feet squared. Okay, we're going to do multiplying mixed numbers 2. Okay, I'm just going to start that on a new page so I have enough room. So multiplying mixed numbers 2 says the playground has a picnic shelter that is covered and has picnic tables. The picnic shelter is 2 1/4 yards wide, and the picnic shelter is 2 1/2 yards long. What is the total area for the picnic shelter? So it's asking me for area. I know area equals length times width. And this problem tells me the length of my picnic shelter is 2 1/4 yards. Oops, sorry. It's 2 1/2 yards. And it says the width is 2 1/4 yards. Okay, so I have the problem 2 1/2 times 2 1/4. So I'm going to set up my box. I'm going to make 4 sections. I'm going to take my first fraction and put it on the top. 2 wholes, 1/2. I'm going to take my second fraction, 2 wholes, 1/4, and put it along the side. Again, I know this side is 2 because it matches over here, and this part is 1/4, so that when I try to bring my fingers together, I have numbers to consider. So this right here has 2 and 2, so that means 2 times 2, and that equals 4. This over here has a 2 1/2, so 2 times 1/2 equals 2 halves, or the same thing as 1 whole. Because 2 times 1 is 2, and there's a little 1 right here, so 1 times 2 is 2. Or you can think of it as 2 groups of 1/2. If I have 2 groups of 1/2, I end up with 1 whole. Okay? This one is 2 times 1/4. Okay, 2 times 1 is 2, and there's a little 1 up under here, so 1 times 4 is 4. Okay, 2/4. Now, if I think about this one, this is like 2 groups of 1/4. If I have 2 groups of 1/4, then I end up with 2/4. Okay, my last box, 1/2 times 1/4. That equals 1/8. So now I've got to add my partial products. I have 4, I have 1 whole, 2/4, and 1/8. So I have 4 plus 1 plus 2/4 plus 1/8. One thing I can go ahead and simplify is the 4 plus 1. 4 plus 1 is 5, so I have 5 plus 2/4 plus 1/8. Now I'm going to rewrite that here vertically, plus 2/4 plus 1/8, because since I'm adding, they have to have the same denominator. And right now they don't have the same denominator. I got to think, what denominator could 4 and 8 share? Well, they could both share 8. This fraction is the exact same, or this denominator stayed the same, so this numerator will stay the same. Here I multiplied 4 times 2 to get the 8. I'm going to multiply 2 times 2 up here to get 4. So I end up with 5 wholes plus 4/8 plus 1/8. 4/8 plus 1/8 is 5/8. And I bring down those 5 wholes, I get 5 wholes and 5/8 yards squared. That is the area of the picnic shelter. Okay, there's several steps to this, and I want to talk about why we create these equations that we create. If I look at my problem, I'm essentially distributing each number. I did 2 times 2, and I did 2 times 1/4. I see that here, 2 times 2, 2 times 1/4. I also did 1/2 times 1/4. I see that here. And I did 1/2 times 2. I see that here. Okay, I just used a box to break down all those different equations. Okay, you're going to pause the video here and you're going to work on multiplying mixed numbers 3. You can pause the video or you can mute the video and watch. You can watch along as you work to make sure you're on the right track. Okay, so this is multiplying mixed numbers 3. And it says the bounce house needs a large space in order to be in compliance. The space must be 3 1/6 meters wide. The space must be 4 3/4 meters long. What is the total area for the bounce house space? Okay, again, it's asking for area. And I know area equals length times width. And here, the width of my space must be 3 1/6. And the length of my space must be 4 3/4. So I have 4 3/4 times 3 1/6. So I'm going to set up my box first. Notice my sections. I'm trying to use the lines on my notebook paper to help me so that I don't have a sloppy box or a box that's hard to read or I'm having to scrunch in numbers. Okay, you want your box to be easy to read and neat. So I have 4 holes and I have 3/4 here. I have 3 holes and 1/6 here. Put my 3 here, my 1/6 here because those sides are the same. 4 times 3 goes in this box. 4 times 3 equals 12. 3/4 times 3 goes in this box. That equals 9/4. Well, if I think to myself, how many times will 4 go into 9? I can do my work over here to the side. 4 will go into 9 2 times with 1 left over. Remember, this is my whole number. This is my numerator. So I end up with 2 holes and 1/4. Keep my denominator. I have 4 times 1/6 here. That equals 4/6. And I have 3/4 times 1/6 here. And I get 3/24 there. Now I have to add my partial products. I have 12, 2 1/4, 4/6, and 3/24. So I have 12, and I already see that I don't have a common denominator, so I'm going to set them up so that I can just add them together and find their common denominator. I'm going to set them up vertically. 12 plus 2 holes, 1/4, plus 4/6, plus 3/24. Trying to think, well, this 12 holes stays the same, and I know my 2 holes is going to stay the same. I've just got to figure out a common denominator for my other numbers here. Okay, I have a 4, a 6, and a 24. I know that 6 times 4 can give me 24. I know 24 times 1 gives me 24. And I know 4 times 6 gives me 24. If I didn't know that, I could list out my multiples for all 3 numbers, right? 4, 6, 24. I have 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24. Here I have 6, 12, 18, 24, and here I have 24. 24 is their common denominator. This is the same thing as what I had over here, so that means my numerator stays the same. Okay. Here, to get from 6 to 24, I multiplied 6 times 4. If I was unsure of what I multiplied 6 by, I could look back over here and count. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? So I multiply my top by 4, my numerator. 4 times 4 is 16. Here I multiply 4 times 6 to get 24. So I multiply my numerator by 6. 1 times 6 is 6. So I have 6 24ths, 16 24ths, and 3 24ths to add together as my fractions. And my whole numbers, I have 12 and 2. So 12 and 2 is 14. 6 plus 16, that is 22. Plus 3 more is 25. So I have 25 24ths. I see that that's improper, so I've got to figure out, this is more than a whole because my top's bigger than my bottom. So again, I'm going to say 24 will go into 25 how many times? It'll go 1 time with 1 left over. This is my whole number. This is my numerator. So essentially right here I have 14 plus 1 whole and 1 24th. Because this transformed into this when we turned it into a proper mixed number. Okay, so that equals 15 and 1 24th. Okay, the rest of the problems we'll practice in class. This is just an introduction, so we'll keep practicing multiplying mixed numbers, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.